evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Mighty Misfit Menagerie, or
Cast.
This evening, we're just going to be doing one episode, as it is a weeknight. And with that, we are returning to the wonderful, terrible, dying, decrepit land
Why did you?
of Thither.
Wild Witch.
Yes, Wild Witchlight. It's been almost a month since we played Witchlight, so I think it might take us a second to get back into this world and these characters. But in an effort to assist our return to these worlds and characters, Helena, would you grace us with a recapitation?
Yes, I really contemplated making a bunch of stuff up because I was like, who's gonna remember? So we had just come upon some goats and they were really mean. They hated us. And then there was like some sprites nearby and they were scared of us at first, but one of them was brave enough to talk to us and they were like, yeah, we've been casting magic on these goats constantly because they're bad. And we're like, okay, well, let's just take a look at these goats. Solstice is like, yo, what's up, goat? The goat's like, I want to fucking kill you. And we're like, okay, let's take down the goats. And I think our most embarrassing loss of the season, two of them got away. Two fucking goats got away. Okay. So we're like, all right, see you later. After that happens, there's a female form going through the sky on a rocking horse. And Solstice is like, I'm going to get that girl. And we shoot an arrow, but just hit the rocking horse. Part of the rocking horse falls down. And Helena's really worried that was Edidon.
One of the dogs.
But Solstice is really in denial about that. Okay, so then we talk to the sprites some more, and they're like happy because they're like, yeah, we don't like the hags, so now we like you, and we're like, cool.
It was very Munchkin Land at the beginning of.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
Percy kind of goes up into the sky and he's like, what's up? He sees the Baba Yaga's house on legs in the distance, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna mark that. We also encounter a centaur named Winterbow, and he's like, yeah, I know that Will of the Woods guy. Let me show you where he normally hangs out. And we're like, okay, cool. And then we come upon a dryad and Meadowleaf who has had some trauma and understandably immediately attacked us. So we were like, yo, please, girlfriend, we don't want to kill you. Please don't. And she's like, okay, I guess I will tentatively stop my attack, even though I totally had you all on the ropes by my bush beings. So we're like, cool. She sinks down into the tree like the Terminator going to the lava, and it's really sad. And so we go, that's it, recapitated.
I will never not be able to think of that moment without seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger now. Arnold Schwarzenegger played that dryad.
I won't be back.
And he cut
Save my forest.
He cut such a lovely feminine figure.
He really did.
You don't expect it.
CG, man. It's
I mean,
all
have you
me.
seen his legs when he was like Mr. Universe? Like just nothing but.
I'll be
back
Bark.
there. I'll be Bark. Oh.
No.
I'm gonna need you to stop the scream and leave now.
I'm just gonna go.
Hey, at least we didn't kill this one.
That's true. You definitely could have.
With fire.
Oh God.
Yes, and it was clear the centaur knew Meadowleaf, and both of them are sort of the remnants of what is left here as this forest slowly dies away. The centaur that you had met having been left by his people, yes, his herd, as they escaped before the shroud of these mists came down upon the lands, but he was too old and too slow to be able to keep up with them and didn't want to hold them back by making them wait for him. So he is the last of his kind here as well. As Meadowleaf sinks into the bark once again, becoming one with what is left of her tree, all of the awakened shrubs that had come in to surround all of you just sink back into the ground, rustle slightly as if getting comfortable, and cease motion.
I feel like in another life I would have been really excited about this.
She is a noble being. I hope to avenge her along with many of the other occupants of this forest. I will get you, hag! You will be gotten.
I don't think she's present, my love.
And then I like kneel before and I'm like meditating or something in sadness.
The centaur takes a knee next to you, clasps a hand on your shoulder. If anyone can do it, it is one with the soul of a unicorn.
Your confidence gives me strength. It fills me.
But if it is something we are to do, it is something we best get moving upon.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Stop. Carefully stepping around the shrubs as they now remain motionless.
I'll quietly say goodbye to each one of them.
Yeah, Cody tries to shake some of their hands, no? All right.
As you get to the last one, a little branch sticks out,
Oh,
and there's like a high five motion, and then it shrinks back in.
But, sir.
the makings of an excellent warrior.
The shrubs now purr.
I love it.
Moving deeper into the forest as the trees begin to become denser once again, getting out of this area of deforestation, as the sky grows dark just from the foliage overhead, you see more wanted posters.
I am perceiving. There's anything around
Roll
me.
a d8 and a d20.
Oh. 2 and a 5. The 2 on the 20, the 5 on the 8. That makes any sense.
You perceive that the forest
Dirt.
is dark here and there's very thick foliage ahead. It's difficult to see which direction the path will lead as the trees seem to weave.
Stay close together. This is a very hairy area.
I go, are there other hairs?
Yes, that's a valid question. Where do you see Langomorphs?
I'm just saying that things look complicated right here, and I don't want to lose anybody.
I step closer to Jeltra.
We'll be fine.
Jeltra, it might benefit us with it being so dark for you to turn into a form that can see better.
Possibly.
And I will say it is not so dark that you're reaching a dark vision place.
Okay.
I was thinking spider time.
And also, 3 of us have buttons that I made light up.
Oh no, I was just mainly
Okay.
thinking if something was going to ambush us, the spider form would give us the highest chance of catching it before it got to us. But
I would like to study the closest wanted poster and just see if it looks different from the last ones that we've seen. That's
Go
it.
ahead and roll a d8 as well.
Okay.
maybe I'm out of my depth here, but how has she not found him?
7.
I know there's many rewards.
The one closest to Solstice reads, "Deliver this rascal alive and unharmed as payment. I offer you the power to bring the dead back to life."
Terrible power.
That's quite powerful. Wow. I mean, that would be an enticement for anybody.
Not me.
Jeltra's reading, "How dare this ragamuffin defy me? Bring him to me alive and unharmed, and I'll grant you a loyal servant."
My question, why does she want him unharmed?
So she can do the harming normally.
Torture.
Well, I'm just
Or-
saying, even if we captured him, he might come to some harm, like dragging him in a net or something, bruise him. Do you think it would affect the reward?
We're not gonna bring him in.
Hypothetically.
Maybe we bring him in as a way to get in and then do
Oh.
Well,
Get a reward and then stab her.
I don't want any of these hags' gifts.
I don't want the gifts either, but maybe it is a surefire way to get face to face with the hag
But we stab her before the gift.
before the gift. Sorry, Mr. Live.
No, that's fine. What if Bavlorn is with her?
Excellent. Unfinished business.
Well, I'm just saying it would benefit us to surprise them, if that's the case, wouldn't it?
So then walking through the front door with a wanted individual may not give us the element of surprise.
Or it may give us the element of distraction.
It did technically work last time with the book.
Did not work.
Well, I mean, we had the people in front and then we came around behind, even though Bavlorna seemed to know that we were there.
Hmm.
That's why maybe we just don't hide anybody this time.
And we get Percy like a bigger crossbow.
Percy,
What's
you
wrong
need
with my crossbow?
Well, just last time you almost killed Bavlorna, but if you'd had a bigger crossbow, you would have gotten it done.
your crossbow's a great size.
The failure is on all of us.
And not being able to see in the dark.
And she fled like a scared coward.
As
We-
go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we lose together as a family, sometimes we often do win together as a family.
Except we'd let those 2 goats go too.
Are we more losing than winning right now?
It just means we're due for a win.
Okay. I'm on board for that.
To be honest, we've come close to losing many times.
But never fully
Is that
lost.
winning then?
Nearly.
The fact that we've never truly lost is a win. I'm doing my best here, everybody.
It's good to stay positive.
As you move forward through the forest, with your centaur companion ripping down each of the wanted posters as you pass them, clomping on them with his feet in the underbrush below.
I go back because no littering.
Forest.
Solstice does kind of look like Captain.
A little bit. I can see some Captain Planet.
Gonna take pollution. Sorry.
It's okay. The forest begins to open up.
Emotionally.
Yes, it does. And as it just begins to reach dusk, you reach a clearing in the distance. Up ahead, a small group of children frolics around a leafy oak tree, their gleeful yelps carrying through the forest. Painted swings dangle from the tree's branches, and nestled in its crown is a ramshackle treehouse.
Neat.
Again, how has she not found these children?
I mean, do they look like Will's gang or whatever, or what we would have expected? Or we've only seen a picture of Will, right?
Yes.
Okay, does one of them look like Will?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Is it like a tangled situation where each poster looks kind of different?
They are all hand-drawn, but they all do look vaguely...
Never got his nose right.
Never get my nose right.
They all do look... Oh, that's not a show to players. There we go. They all do look vaguely like this.
Curly tits. I got an 18.
Okay. Yes, it's clear that there is a boy standing sort of halfway up the ladder of the tree watching the other children play with a smile on his face that definitely fits the description of the wanted poster.
Hail, children of thither. Whichever one we're in.
There's a moment of silence,
I'm like walking, waving, and smiling.
and all of the children sprint to the oak tree, climbing up, Will helping each of them along the way until he's the last up to its branches as you approach, calling down, "Stand down or face merry hell!"
Solstice, can I? Hello? We come in peace?
Yes, listen to the bunny man.
I am already standing down. I didn't stand up. Well, you know what I mean.
I'm standing on.
There's a...
I'm pretty sure stand down is a colloquialism for like, don't be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Don't
I
be
feel like I was
aggressive.
very friendly in my demeanor as I approached.
I've never found you intimidating.
But I get it, children. Things are not as always as they seem.
And children are usually wary of strangers.
As they should be.
Will has now stepped out onto the kind of terrace that's wrapped around the little ramshackle hut around the tree, and he looks down at you. Can you roll persuasion, those of you that are trying to convince him?
Have you guys ever had like a murder hobo, like just random?
You can
thought?
give Solstice. Are you gonna roll or okay?
No,
you
go
can
ahead.
give
I'll give
Solstice advantage.
Where I was just sitting there going like, I could peg him with a dart from here. I was like, why would I do that?
He's a child.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like one of those passing thoughts where you're just like, I could be a
This is
murder
intrusive.
After my +8, I got 10.
Ooh, 13.
I would like to as well, and I'm gonna hold out like in my hand, like as a like opening gift or something.
Oh,
A little teacup that's made from a mushroom cap.
mushrooms.
Okay,
What do we
I'll
have
give you
over
advantage for that as well.
Oh,
there? Do I have a nudie mag? Give them.
that's in the box.
Not surprisingly, Cody isn't particularly good at convincing people of stuff.
Whether I'm helping Solstice or not, I'd like to just. Is there a lot of foliage or brush around us at the bottom?
This area is mostly a clearing. What you see that looks kind of like brush on here, they're all trees.
Okay.
Turn into a puppy.
What was...
11.
Okay.
Children love puppies.
Great idea.
Will narrows his eyes from above. Goes, the tall one can approach.
I approach.
If any of the rest of you take even a single step forward, it will be the end of you.
Am I still on Solstice's shoulders?
I would,
Can I insight that?
yeah.
20, so 22.
He's bluffing.
Ah.
As he says that, though, and points at Solstice, there's this little kind of sound as a little black, sort of cat-looking like creature creeps out from behind his legs, and then you see a tentacle come and swing as if it's kind of wagging.
It's Star, right? That was his name, Star?
And this is what Will looks like.
The Displacer Beast from
And
the
his hat.
carnival. His
Yeah.
kid.
I think you're right.
Cool.
Amazing.
I want that on my wall.
It's a very Peter Pan-esque vibe.
Yeah.
Peter Pan's a little bitch, though, compared to Will. Forrest.
I will turn to Jeltra and be like,
I wouldn't.
Good sir, we only seek to find passage through this area. We seek to take down the hag. We hear you are not such a fan of her.
He turns around, and once again you hear this. Well, maybe again. I don't know. Can't be trusted. I'm not.
I take out the lute and just start strumming it very lightly in the background.
You don't pay enough, you know.
Thank you. Thank you, Solstice.
wait, are you still riding Solstice? Because we were told that if any of the rest of us, oh, you haven't taken a step.
Making a big show of keeping your feet clamped.
I haven't moved.
Will turns around and then says, well, if you're here to help, then you'll have to prove it. And he snaps and goes invisible, revealing the cat behind him. The Displacer Beast on the ground, who all of a sudden looks up.
I throw an egg at her.
He just vanished.
Yeah. I'm whispering it to Jeltra.
Well,
Just say.
I hope proving it doesn't involve taking you down, because I don't want to do that.
Can I pet your cat?
Right behind you, you hear in your ear, Only if you're worthy.
Oh shit.
No, I'm worthy.
And then reveals himself again, standing behind Percy. You have to follow the task. I just told you, you have to pass the test for the test.
What test?
The one to prove that you're... Is he slow? Is he a little... I know he's short, but he seemed...
No, he has many skills.
He's one of the brighter ones, actually.
Oh, that doesn't bode well.
I'm gonna have. Oh my god. Cosmo. Like,
Mr.
come up and I'm gonna pet Cosmo
Okay.
to show him that I'm, like, petting him.
So I met this guy's, the kitty's dad. What was his dad's name? And what is his name?
His name is Star. You were
Star,
correct on
okay.
that. His dad's name is weird. So let me reread it so that I can
I just-
pronounce it appropriately.
I have it written down in a notebook. Over there.
I think we even have something of stars, don't we?
You
A ball.
do.
Yeah.
Star's ball.
His name is a word that I'm gonna say in a second once I scroll through all this text just to find it. Starts with the D, so we're looking for a D. I just freaking
Dark
Like you were gonna start freestyling stuff with a D.
Durlagron.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one.
Excuse me, Bill. Star, your father sent us to find you, and then I'll produce the thing he gave us.
I think it was his ball.
Will's eyes narrow as you decide to speak with Star without any sort of discussion or permission, as the
Will is somebody I don't know. Star is someone
Star recognizes, you think?
maybe.
the displacer beast just poofs back on the ground and kind of comes kitten clopping over,
I will kneel down and present him with his ball,
comes to a skidding stop and rolls on its back, like ready.
and then I will give him.
The tentacles come up and take it and pass it back down to his paws.
Your father's worried sick about you, I'll have you know. Yes, indeed. And I will speak with animals, so I understand what he's saying.
I need to turn.
So is it a cat or is it something else?
Displacer beasts are panther-like creatures with like tentacles.
Yeah, you can.
Spiked
It's
tentacles.
So this speaks cat language.
well, so like his dad spoke common.
Yeah.
He's just real little. But I guess you can kind of see it in that picture, like that he's got like kind of tentacles coming out.
I get that. I just, because in terms of like speaking to them, it's just interesting to me.
I don't know if speak with animals would work or not.
I mean, I think for the purposes of this, we could say that it works fine. I think that they're actually like monstrosities.
I think, yeah.
But
It worked on the blink dog, so that's why I thought it might work on the displacer beast.
well, then why doesn't he come and get me?
He can't. He doesn't know where you are. You're lost.
I'm not lost. I'm with Will.
Well, from his perspective, you're lost.
Well, it sounds like he should change his perspective and come get me.
I mean, I explained to him that you're probably trapped in a mirror, and I was even wrong because you're trapped in two different mirrors.
He holds up what you gave him, which is a mirrored ball.
I've tried. It doesn't get us back.
Keeps rolling it around between the tentacles at his paws.
But now that we've found you, we know where you are, and so when we get unlost, we'll be able to tell your dad where you are.
Will's been standing the whole time looking down as you purr back and forth.
Completely ignoring Will. I know how to deal with a willful child.
Don't give them the attention.
I look at Will. See? We mean no harm.
Where are these tests?
And then in comment, I'll go, and I'm the dumb one.
No, I think he's the dumb one.
Did you hear
You
something,
said
Star?
that there was a test. You didn't tell us what the test was.
I screeched Star. Did you hear something, Star? I didn't hear anybody important. Did you, Star? There should be wanted posters of you. You should you kitty mug.
Will
So hot to me when you. Children around.
Will turns back to the tree and gives a whistle as the children make their way out onto the balcony to see what's going on.
I might have just started the war, guys. I'm
Dang
sorry.
I was just going to say, man, it's really good that we didn't have to murder a bunch of children.
Right?
Today.
I murder a bunch of children.
I mean, yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of at least 5 scenarios where, like, you would be very happy.
If you murdered a bunch of children? I don't know. The scenarios.
Is our centaur friend still with us?
He is standing back at the edge of the tree line.
I would just like to point out several people have killed young dragons.
Sorry,
Yeah,
just so that
children.
everybody could see a
That'd
little
be
bit better of a picture. I forgot that this is a closer up one. Kind of creepy, kind of cute.
Oh, wow.
What? Damn.
So cute.
I would love a Displacer Beast pet.
They get big.
Exactly.
Right around.
Got 6
You met Dylan, so.
I've always wanted a blink dog. Always.
Well, we didn't mean to intrude on your treehouse, fort, home.
We've been trying to get here for.
No, I know, but we didn't mean to be obtrusive, is what I'm saying.
Well, to get short, we'd like to kill the hag. Would you like to join?
You don't have to try to get short. You're already there.
Yeah.
Correct.
But this one is smart. That was the test.
So we passed.
No, you have to kill that. Why are you not listening at all?
I will say,
No.
fully in Displacer Beast. Is there something wrong with Will?
These
Yeah.
are the getaway gang.
Lovely to meet you all.
I rescued them from the hag. But she has more.
Oh, how many more?
10?
Ooh.
One of them yells up from the top. Don't forget about Brody. 11. 11.
Gotta make sure we rescue.
Well, we will definitely be getting them out of that situation.
Yes, 10 plus Brody.
I mean, if nothing else is a side effect.
Well, this was a lot easier than I expected.
Do you
I was
all-
gonna have to go. Can I give my speech?
Yes, please.
Do you all want to help us?
He practiced.
If it's
Yes.
brief, me and Star are getting bored.
Star looks up at you with like a,
I just start petting Star.
and then it like shakes and like smacks you with one of its tentacles and goes and gets behind Will with one of the others still curled around its ball. If you truly are who you say you are, and you,
We haven't said who we are.
well, you said you knew Star's dad.
And that we
Oh,
wanted to
that's
kill
true.
the hag.
And you know Star's dad.
Who are you?
Nicaid Malik.
No, I don't know. Who are you?
We are the Witchlight Knights.
We're from Faerun. We found ourselves here through a secret portal and have been
In a mirror.
trying to
And
help
technically, he's from
this
Grey.
land.
He calls back to the tree. Sloan, add Witchlight Knights to the list of possible gang names.
It's a good name.
Can you do that?
I don't
just
think we
take
have
it?
a trademark on it.
Oh,
I didn't know we had a name, but that's a great name.
that's a good name.
We are the Witchlight Knights.
If we die, you can have it.
If we die, you can have it.
If they die, we can have it.
Otherwise, you're going to have to join the Witchlight Knights if you want to be a Witchlight Knight.
They could be a subgroup.
Yeah.
The night
We
left.
could always use squires.
A thither chapter.
The other three children come sliding down. Bobby, a boisterous male dwarf growing his first whiskers. Sloane, a sarcastic ginger-haired female wood elf. And Zenor, a tenacious female orc.
How old is the wood elf?
She appears to be the same age as the others.
So like 42?
Yeah.
A child,
Sorry.
you know?
It's just D&D and elf
Ages are
children.
weird.
Don't be ageist.
I'm not. It's just
So me as a half elf, wood half elf, do I look the same age as I don't know, probably not.
You're
Look
younger.
younger than her?
Half elves age the same as humans.
Okay, so yeah, because I'm like in my early 20s. But oh god.
She's like a child.
well. It's one of the. We can talk about it in after
Yeah,
party,
after
but it's one of the things that I can't stand about
It's
like
hilarious.
how they do elves and dwarves and the long-lived races. Like,
Which so she shorter than me at this
no,
point?
she is a child.
She's a child.
Yeah, she looks to be like 11.
Okay.
But whether she is 11 or 42 is up to debate.
Okay. That's why I'd be like, so, you guys are adorable. How old are you all?
You're getting off task.
I'm sorry. It's just really nice to meet you all.
We can grant more information on, and he kind of puts his arms out to block them, on my gang. When our numbers have swelled.
Well, you've got.
What can you tell us about the hag's defenses?
First test,
Oh,
Are you finally gonna tell us what it is now?
there's been this crumpled pile of fabric that the orcish girl and the dwarf are carrying together, and they start to unfurl it, and it's clear that it's a patchwork sewn, basically unicorn made out of a sheet with a stick put on it.
You're the unicorn that our unicorn friend mentioned.
Wait,
Solstice,
This is
you
in
met her.
disguise.
Yeah, but remember she said how she met a bunch of children in a unicorn disguise?
Yes.
Yes.
you already went to the Wayward Pool?
Yes. My love, the love of my life, is also a unicorn.
I spoke to the beautiful
Lenore?
Lamorna.
Yeah.
Lamorna there, and she told me her tale of woe. I vowed to help her as well.
She said that her the magics protecting her pool aren't working correctly because a bunch of children in a unicorn costume were able to sneak through.
She didn't mention that.
1 second. She did. And they turn back around and start whispering to each other again, and then Will turns around and goes, first test, passed.
Next test, please.
Wait, we didn't take the test.
I like this one. He's eager. You may not be too bright, but your heart's in the right place.
I look down at Cosmo, who I literally built with my own hands. That's freaking mechanical hamster that runs on his own. I'm like, mm-hmm.
I'm going to kneel down and take your hands gently in mine and go, Percy, when others insult your intelligence, you have to just learn that it's a perspective thing, and everyone learns differently.
Again, we all have different strengths.
Yes.
What's
So
the next test?
Just let it roll off your
I
back.
don't appreciate him calling my strengths in question when he doesn't even give me a test to show me.
You passed it.
Test.
You passed the test.
Next.
What was the first?
We can't talk about this in the open.
You're the one.
I start looking
I'm
around for.
very eager to see your impressive treehouse.
Follow me.
Oh.
And he vanishes again.
How are we supposed to follow you if you're invisible?
The orcish.
Can I peg him with a pebble? Just to show that I know where he is. Can I just make a random roll to see if I can
You
peg him
can
with a
roll to see.
He's a child.
pebble? I'm not doing it to hurt him. I said pebble, not rock.
Let him have his little games.
Okay, so this is a thrown weapon. 16 plus 8.
Wow.
It bounces off the back of his head, and you hear this like.
Found him, and then I follow him.
It's clear as you get closer that he had taken a weaving path through the grass, and you can see the footsteps as the dwarf Bobby bursts out laughing, and the wood elf helps the female orc carry the bundle of sheets over to the ladder.
When Will starts talking again, I'm going to start teaching Bobby how to flip the stones like I did.
He practices, and Will's still invisible at this point, and finally, and it gets him again, and he turns uninvisible and turns and just stares daggers at Bobby.
It's like that scene in the new Hawkeye show where he shows her how to snap throw things. That's what I'm showing him how to do.
Getting up into the treehouse itself, I'll go ahead and reveal it on the map, because it is kind of cute.
I help them with their costume stuff up there. Whatever. So I am eager to see it.
Anything that they might have crushed on the ground, I'll druid craft and start bringing back.
The floor of the treehouse is covered in blankets, cushions, and piles of straw hanging from the 6-foot-high ceiling. By a rope is a basket that holds apples, berries, sugar cane, and a few crumpled up sheets of parchment. In one corner, lying on a cushion, is a rusty oil can that looks out of place. Heaped in another corner,
That's a fire hazard.
they toss the crudely made unicorn costume made out of polka dot quilts and a wooden horse's head that has a wooden horn attached to it, which you can actually see in the artwork.
I love it.
That's what I'm
Cute,
pointing at.
yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can see the oil can. If they've made that detail.
Can we not make any fire hazard jokes this week?
I believe this is the oil can.
That's what I was
Like the
thinking, yeah.
overhead view.
I'll make a Tin Man joke.
The crumpled up sheets in the basket are 3 of Granny Nightshade's wanted posters.
Nice. Ah, an excellent stronghold for in the making. Although, again, we should move that. Safety. I make the oil can safe.
As you pick it up, you hear this. Put me down.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I put it down.
Don't mind him. That's Squirt. Although he will probably come in handy, so while you don't mind him, also be nice to him.
Squirt is an animated oil can?
I'm right here.
Dear Squirt, I apologize. You are an animated oil can?
Fucking love him.
You hear this siphoning sound as it like sucks air through the top and then pushes it back out with just a little bit of a splutter. Well, I would be if I had oil.
And look around and see if I have oil.
Well, at least it's not a fire hazard.
Actually, will you carry me?
Of course.
He sort of floats up into the air to be hand level.
Excellent. That's handy.
As he says that, Percy's gonna pull a flask of oil out of his pack. Like shake it, be like, what?
The oil can pulls its way out of your hand and the lid just flops open.
May I?
Fill me up, Buttercup.
I certainly hope this is not going to cause fire.
I mean,
We don't have the best track record with these things.
with sentient oil cans?
No, with setting fire to things that are flammable.
Oh, Squirt's the only one I ever met.
The rain, but
We
Watch it for.
met some coals in the last world that were animated, and they were dicks.
They were quite obnoxious.
Before
Oh, Bavlorda's stupid little workshop coals.
This is
We are not on the same level. Yes.
well, technically that was the last level, so I wasn't aware that there was higher up than.
Level of sentience!
I often have my sentience questioned, so I understand your frustration.
no, we don't question your sentience.
Oh, I'm
The
not
word
thinking by
is
you.
sanity.
Okay.
Are you pouring the oil into him?
Yeah.
As it gets this like glug, 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 you see the metal sort of form into this kind of dopey smile across his face as it shudders in the air. Much better.
No, you can carry him.
And it slots into your hand and waits for you to take hold of it.
I was gonna say, yeah,
I'm
how large
probably
is
by
it?
it.
Percy's size.
So, where are we going?
Will
Somewhere fun.
will you
Well,
help
we're
us?
waiting on a second test from Will.
But after the test, will you help us set fire to the hags?
Well, what's
Salad?
with all the tests? I just want to relax.
Had a hard day, have you?
Yeah, Will. What's with all the tests?
He's been sitting in this tree since we rescued him from the dang hag's lair, if you can call it a lair. It's a log. It's a log. This is a lair. Our lair
It is
moves around.
It's
You
a
guys-
lovely lair.
Rescued him?
Well, how do you think he got this way?
I thought he said he rescued you.
Oh, that was Will talking about Squirt.
Oh, okay. I
Sorry.
was like,
Sorry. The voices are a little similar.
You're
I
fine.
apologize. Yeah, Will talking about Squirt.
Okay.
It's less of a lair and more of a clubhouse, but yeah.
But the joke's on her. He's the only way to get between thither and yon.
Oh, excellent.
Oh,
Anything
How does
she
that-
wants to do, aside from go herself, she can't.
How does that work? That's an oil can.
Well, oil is reflective, so he pours out on the ground, creating a mirror, and then we can go into the next mirror and get to the next realm.
The oil can giggles. It's a very strange sort of gurgly squirt sound as some of the oil comes spritzing out of the top of it in a mist.
Maybe we shouldn't bring the oil can on the. I mean, if there's a way for them to escape, we don't want to give the hags an opportunity to get out of here.
He's useful when he wants to be. He's just a lazy bones.
Well, I will remind you that Bavlorna was able to get here without the help of Clapperclaw, and we were told Clapperclaw was the only one who could get us here, so...
Oh, the hags can move about as much as they
I
want.
think Clapperclaw was the only person in hither that
Could get to thither.
Right. It doesn't mean he's the only person that can do it. He's just the only one that was there at that point.
Well, she was just saying we shouldn't bring him so that the hag doesn't escape, but I think she could do that regardless.
Yeah,
Right.
unfortunately.
They,
Well,
them and their minions. Well, these minions that were made to do it. With the mist. Nothing else. I think.
Will, is the next test who can, I don't know, throw darts really, really well? Because I'm really bad at that, so we should definitely not do that as a test.
He turns and digs into turns and digs into one of the piles of blankets and spreads out a map onto the floor. Darts?
Yeah, I'm very bad at it. I might be the worst dart thrower.
so
In theater.
terrible.
Can I have one?
Sure, I'll slide one out of my sleeve. I just keep these there for no reason.
Actually, I'm gonna need two. Thanks. And he stabs one into each of the corners of the map to keep it open.
And then I will flick two more into the other two corners. Solstice, why did you do that?
I'm very talented at darts. My figure is perfectly tuned. What missiles do you use for that?
I see what you're saying. It is a little sloppy.
Yeah, of course.
It's not at all. But the next test
I too am honest.
is rescue.
Oh,
Oh, the other children. That's a worthy test.
The rest of the children of the getaway gang get excited and kind of crowd around to the side of the map that he's on as he reveals the rest of it to you.
I'll circle around.
It appears to show a crude drawing of a fallen over log. Multiple levels, headstones drawn in some areas, gardens in others, a library. A lot of squiggles that are a little hard to make out. First, the approach. Bobby, Sloane, and Star will creep through the woods to the west of the tree, points on the map, and hide just out
We're
of
in a
sight
reversed mirror. West should be over here.
Shh, not your plan.
this side of the tree, where my finger is.
Which is east.
Hide just out of sight of the screaming scarecrows. Meanwhile, I will sneak around the entrance to the kitchen on the east side of the tree. You will be the distraction.
We're good at that. We can be very good at that.
Go.
I just feel like we'd be better utilized stabbing the hag a bunch, but okay.
Well, they're never going to believe we're travelers. You all look weird. You could be from anywhere.
Especially when I become a spider.
If we could be from anywhere, doesn't that make us more believable as travelers?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
They won't think. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
They know who we are.
They are not travelers.
But a bunch of freaks.
We're travelers.
Hey, who you calling a freak?
Us.
I turn into
Are you
a
not
spider, I
following the
guess.
plan?
That's, yeah.
I guess that's just become normal and kind of comforting at this point.
I mean, up until
Comforting at this point?
a week ago, I'd never met. I mean, up until I met you, and then a week ago, I'd never met a bunny person before.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes one needs to be humbled. Sorry. Sorry, Will.
And
Freaks isn't an
Solstice,
insult.
Solstice is the weirdest looking unicorn on Earth, and then Percy is a comically large pixie.
Oh, pixie.
Yeah, where is your horn?
I can only hope it continues to reside somewhere in my body.
Oh, mine.
Oh,
So the distraction.
oh,
You will
please, yeah,
enter
distraction.
the goblin market posing as travelers.
Okay.
Can you just let him finish?
Well, I'm just gonna inform him that the hag saw us killing a bunch of goats, so she might recognize us as well. And her sister, we tried to kill her, and we heard that she's here. So I don't know if this plan will work. Go ahead.
He reaches back and rips the polka dotted sheet from the horse head and tosses it at you. Disguises. Purchase some sweets from the goblin market and arrange for a meeting with the hag. During the meeting, we will alert the screaming scarecrows and lure them and the tin soldiers into the garden. That's Star. It's very good card talk. I don't know if you guys can hear it because we have a little noise filter on these mics to try to stop some of the airflow sound. But Cooper is howling at a siren that passed. And he is very little and very raspy.
He's just doing his job.
Howling is such a forgiving term.
It's a very loosely used term.
It sounds like a goblin, like.
It's a goblin opera.
At
Yes.
the goblin market.
Markets. Got it. Okay. Goblin Market, purchase sweets.
Arrange for the meeting.
Make a meeting.
Have the meeting. We set off the scarecrows, bring in the tin soldiers into the garden on the other side of the building. Then, while everybody's distracted, you free the captives from the workshop. I'll climb into the textile mill. Mill. That's a hard word. Free the captives there. And once everybody's set free, we will run back here.
How have you been able to keep this place secret from the hack?
How are you not dead?
As you ask, there's kind of a rumbling, shaking sound as like the whole room starts to shift. And through the windows, you can see it stood up and it started walking.
Oh, shoulda known.
Yeah, Little Oak doesn't like to stay in the same place for very long.
His name is, what is it?
Little Oak.
Little Oak. Hello, Little Oak. Start talking to the floors.
We have met very few buildings that don't move.
From beneath you, you hear, hello.
Oh, you are so magnificent, sir. Thank you so much for all of your aid.
Sorry, I'm trying to speak quietly. booms
my
throughout the
gosh,
forest.
look
So
at
that in the background of that picture is the
Oh, I
lake.
was
That's
wondering why the tree had a
amazing.
face, but I was like, okay.
I would just like to point out that this is the most Goonies land,
Oh, it
never-ending story.
It does feel very good.
every
very
movie from the 80s.
Yeah, 80s. horror.
When he holds still and like isn't having his eyes open or anything, it just kind of looks like a lot of knots over here. But once he opens them and begins to move, it's clear that he's a treant.
Just needs like a little bit of like glow in the dark spots on there. Yeah.
Little Oak will get us close enough to get the ball rolling, but not so close.
Wait. I missed the ball. Where's the ball in the plan?
To get the plan started.
You are the ball. I am the ball.
Oh, no.
We,
No.
the members of the Getaway Gang, perhaps, maybe Witchlight Knights, are the ball.
Well, only one of your members has been to the Witchlight.
What?
Just ignore him.
Well, we're the Witchlight Knights because we're from the Witchlight Carnival.
We are the ball. We are.
That's our new name.
Cody tries to do a frontwards roll.
As you do and are about to fail, the tree takes another step and it tilts the floor over, allowing you to complete it
I'm
successfully.
very acrobatic.
Darkness has finally descended. What happened?
Is there any chance that we like eked out a long rest?
Oh, yeah.
I was just about to say darkness has descended as the tree begins to make a slow, winding path through the forest. You can occasionally hear it stop and sort of half bend while working to keep the hut as level as it can, as it tends to a few trees and whispers to them, and then continues on its way. The journey itself, Will tells you, Little Oak likes to take his time. So if you wanna, catch some Z's, I would do it now.
It's very, very nice of you to allow us to rest in your lovely tree hut.
One wouldn't dream to rush the mighty Lil Oak.
You have
I look at you two. I'm like,
Jojo, don't be inappropriate. It's children present.
Stopped you before?
Yes.
You have our hospitality as long as you pass the second test.
I thought the map was the second test.
The rescue is the rescue is the second test.
So until we do the second test, we're not safe to sleep here?
No, as long as you are in process or have succeeded. Otherwise, I will take back this rest.
understood completely.
I mean, from a logical point of view, I don't know if you can take it back. Do you have magic powers?
Magic. And he kind of keeps waving his arms as he lays down and pulls a blanket up with
Do
one
you turn
hand.
invisible?
Magic.
No, but like for serious, how do you do that?
And then as he lays down pretending to be asleep, an arm shoots out, grabs a very crude stuffed bear and pulls it.
I'll start
I don't think
playing a
you
very
can censor me.
soft flute.
I tell a story.
Play it over.
Wow. Yeah, you guys play something.
All of the other children also come to their resting places. The elf and the orc kind of talking quietly and excitedly about the adventure they are about to have the next day and how angry it will make the hag, and chittering back and forth to each other before also finding their rest. And the oil can kind of clinks back and forth. You can talk as loud as you want. They're not really light sleepers.
Okay.
Watch this.
I stare at the
None
children.
of the children react at all.
Dude,
Cody shoots up from sleep and just throws a dagger.
it's okay. He was just trying to illustrate that the children are deep sleepers.
The oil was just trying to grease the situation.
This one knows how to party. It's tilted spout.
Indeed.
Oh, Cody will snap a coin at Nicate's head.
I dodge out of the way.
Now I'm sleepy.
Well, if you're sleepy and they're asleep, then I'm not going to have anyone to talk to.
Percy will stay awake with you.
For a little bit.
Cosmo?
I will let you know.
Cosmo, oh yeah, Cosmo can talk to you.
You can talk to Cosmo.
I could use a cuddle buddy. It clinks over to Cosmo, kind of nestles up against the metal, and then it sits back up and like squirts a little bit of the oil on it, gets itself comfortable, and leans in. I don't really sleep. This is comfortable.
Cheltor will go around to the children and just kind of make sure they're tucked in.
You get little snores and smiles from each of them at the little warm touch.
Cody keeps pushing Bobby off of him.
Like somehow a leg just
Cody is not amused.
And it's a little dwarf leg, so it's small, but it's heavy.
Very deadly across short distances.
Nope.
You are all able to get a long rest.
Yay! Okay.
I wake up early, jog around the perimeter for my morning exercise while we're moving. Are we moving?
You are still, yeah.
Okay.
As you begin to finish that little exercise routine, and the sun just barely begins to come across the distant peaks, the tree settles and almost creaking seems to harden into place. As the mists around begin to ever so slightly clear as the morning begins to warm. And unlike when you began this journey the night before, where there were crickets and nightingales and other sounds of the forest generally around, reacting to the motions of the tree, it is dead silent.
Unnatural. We're close. Okay, I perceive anybody around. 18.
From the vantage point up on the tree, standing on the area above the terrace where its head is pointing, far off into the forest, there are some lights.
Okay. All right, I go in and I wake everybody up quietly. We're close. There's lights in the distance. Do you know what those are, Will?
It is opening.
Oh,
Are we doing this first thing?
what are the hours? So it's just opening? So is it normal for people to come? Start.
Maybe
I mean, we'll walk slowly.
Okay.
As the little dwarf waking up goes, if you're not going to let us go to the market, can you at least bring us back some sweets?
I don't know if we'll be back. Well, I guess we'll be back for the oil can. So yes, we will.
Okay. Yeah, I like the red ones.
Me too.
What's the red ones?
Like apples.
Climbing down from the ladder at the top of this tree terrace, the forest is nearly the darkest you've seen it. It is almost impossible to tell that it is morning here. The ground around you is still visible, but it all feels like it's been put through this cold blue filter as there's fog shifting in and out between the trees, curling in wisps. And Will, with his crew around him, turns to all of you. May you pass this test so we don't have to vanquish you.
You're growing on me, young kid.
Aye, aye.
I don't want to be vanquished.
Sounds unpleasant.
The orcish girl runs up and hugs Solstice, the wood elf hugging Jeldra, and the dwarf, nearly the same height as Cody, pulls you into a bear hug.
He's like 6 foot tall. Thank you.
I thought you were much shorter than Solstice.
Yeah, because Solstice is like 7 foot tall.
He just looks at Percy and holds his arms out for a hug.
Yay.
Will gets one arm around each of you and pulls you in using the opposite hand to noogie the one across from him. You're all right, freaks.
Thank you.
You're all right, knights.
You ever seen a beating heart?
He like leans in. What? That is so cool.
Put it away.
Can I touch it?
Sorry.
No, put it away.
Sorry.
Okay.
We have things to do.
We still have that Harengon's head, too.
No.
It looks like you.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that yet. Still not ready.
Why are you carrying it around?
Why am I carrying this around? I'll chuck it out the window.
Sometimes it's best not to question things, and sometimes I forget that.
There's a rustling in the underbrush as something pulls the head
Oh.
out of sight.
Okay. Moving along.
They split off into them. Brina.
Well, I was gonna say, as we're descending, or if there's any cloth, any spare something or other, I'm gonna fashion like a cloak or whatever, just to try and disguise myself, but not in the polka dot. Not in the polka dot cloth.
I don't think there's any disguising me.
I
So
see that and I go, and then I take off my waistcoat I'm holding and I flip it inside out and put it back on.
I like it.
Just put my top hat on your head.
It's just a bunch of pockets that are on the outside. You look like a rank safari master.
And I take off my tie.
Looking back as you start into the forest, Little Oak winks and then goes back to being still. The forest is at its darkest here. Up ahead, a colossal dead oak lies on its side. 3 living trees grow naturally out of its fallen remains, and their shapes resemble towers.
ooh.
These candlelight windows twinkle in the gloom, and wooden balconies encircling gnarled branches. On one side of the fallen tree, firelight spills from a pair of quaint storefront windows, illuminating a clearing filled with merchant stalls.
Beautiful.
Do we have any money?
Do we need money? Everything's been like on a weird trade, weird objects made out of other things.
I just feel like goblins would have.
We have things to trade.
We definitely have eggs still.
I mean, don't we have some money? Like from home?
Right, but
A little.
in this realm, everything's on a barter system.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everything
Well, I only
so
have
far has
one.
been on a barter system. That was the last world we were in. We're in a new mirror, so we don't know the rules yet.
I think we'll be okay.
I look around on the floor for
We
things
don't need
to trade.
anything, so
No, they have to be important, children.
Oh,
Don't
That's
trade
right.
me.
I'm not gonna trade. I would never trade you.
What are you all doing? Oh yeah, I should put you on the right map. I'm looking at it, but you guys can't see it.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, it is finishing now.
lighting.
Yes.
I'm 7'5", baby.
Jeebs, you are a
6 foot
massive
tall
person.
is perfectly acceptable height.
Okay.
Ooh.
Where are we?
I don't know.
Oh, there we are, at the very bottom in the corner.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
You're just some little guys.
Corner. Oh, this is a cool.
Oh man.
A cool.
Do you think they'll have normal food? We've been eating crickets for a week now.
They probably do.
By my whore.
Jota, roll a perception.
I don't think we've had a normal meal since the inn.
I think you're right.
22.
Approaching, there's a sort of crinkling sound in your clothing. And digging through, you find that between your pack and your shirt, there's a little note. Hastily scrawled. And it says, "Thank you for your company along the journey. I wish you all the best of luck in freeing these lands. Whether I am here to see it or not, may your journey be fruitful."
Aw. Well, that was lovely.
Is it signed?
No. But, I mean... Oh gosh, I forgot his name.
I know, me too.
Winterbone.
Winterbone.
I mean, it looks like
Winterbone.
Winterbone's handwriting.
It says
Not that
something. May your journey be fruitful, Winterbone.
Oh. Oh, wait, no, it does have his name. It's on the bottom. Sorry, my thumb was covering it.
Why did he write it so small compared to everything else?
I know.
That must be the centaur. One part smaller than the rest.
Yeah, that's what happens. Well, it was very nice of him to leave a note.
Okay, so we go.
Do you think his mother or his father was human?
That's
I think he comes from 2 centaurs.
I think maybe that's not as important as what we're trying to do.
Oh yeah, where's the sweet tent?
Do you think they have 2 hearts?
We do need to buy sweets.
it's too early for this, Cody.
Inside thoughts. Inside thoughts.
Right.
The warmth tells you that the day is beginning, but the darkness does not fade as each of the stalls seem to be lit, and warm light comes spilling out from the windows set in the sides of the fallen tree.
This cloak might have been a bad idea.
Are you heading to where Will pointed out?
Yes, we will follow the plan, hopefully.
And follow the plan exactly.
Likely.
Inside thoughts. Inside thoughts.
This is an inside thought.
Okay.
How likely do you think it is that Will betray us?
Not.
Not at all.
He has much to gain.
Well, he's shown loyalty to other children.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea how he feels about adults.
He showed us loyalty last night.
He let us sleep
by
in his
not
house.
murdering us?
Yes, he let us into his home. We traveled together. We made plans together.
He's highly wanted. Now we could give up his whole...
If anything,
Alright.
he's trusting us very much.
All right, but if this turns out to be a trap, I just want to put on the record that I brought it up before.
And the record
You will
show.
get said credit if the hag cuts into us.
So I'll take down the piece of paper that I had from Winterbone, and on the back of it, and I'll start scribbling what I see says. You
A
know.
receipt.
Well, no, just saying it's like a. My God, Cody. Cody thinks this is a trap. See, and I'll show it to you, and it's nothing but scribbles.
I
See,
can read.
You can't read my handwriting.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. See, we're
Jotra,
fine.
is this a joke?
No, I wrote it down. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just.
Jotra, that doesn't say anything.
Yes, it does. It says this is. You said this was. If this was a trap, we knew it. Okay, it's fine.
Jotra,
We need to move on.
Are you illiterate? Because you just read Winterbone's note.
Are there other patrons
I
about?
wrote it.
Not this early. Although you see 3 stalls selling candy situated in this clearing, lit by windows carved into the giant fallen tree to one side of it. 2 goblins are working in each stall, and the whole enterprise is watched closely by a goblin with a toffee apple head who appears to be muttering quietly to himself until he sees you approaching, at which point he turns with a large grin on the toffee apple head and throws out his arms Welcome to our market. It is open. Please sample.
Thank you.
To feed this candy to children.
Did you guys sample?
Oh, well, yes. We would prefer you buy as well.
We planned on buying, yes.
Do you
But
accept
said
pine
sample.
cones?
What?
What kind of currency do you?
Pine.
Pine cones are a very crisp high paw.
They're not going to say pine cones just because you said for them to say pine cones.
Look, I'm a master of deception.
Roll persuasion.
Not deception?
You just asked if you could accept pine cones. You didn't say anything about the pine cone.
It's dirty 20.
He walks up to you, his candy apple head kind of bobbing back and forth on the shoulders. He takes your hand with the pine cone in it, leaning forward and saying, I can tell. This is very important to you.
Yes.
You
It is.
may sample any 3 of our wares for this pine cone.
You. That's incredibly kind of you.
That's about you.
How welcoming.
Let's get with the custom.
What is on offer? I'm afraid that we are not from round these parts.
Be my guest.
Yes,
Take
we
a
are
look.
Travelers.
Each of the goblins do this grandiose pose over these wooden pallets that are full of a rainbow of candy organized by their colors. It's clear that the first stall seems to be made out of chewy taffy-like candy. The second one out of a more hard-looking, shiny, crunchy, sucky candy. And then the last one has little glass pots that are full of more fluorescent, goopy candy that come with little sticks to eat it out of.
Do I see the red ones that Bobby was talking about?
Yes.
So I would like to pick up one of the red ones, put it to my mouth, and then sleight of hand it into my sleeve.
Sure.
So, okay, so I don't think I actually have any money, and I don't know if I have. I'm sorry.
What? So a pine cone gets us 3 samples, but
That was a very important pine cone.
Yeah.
that's true. No, that's true.
Generally speaking, it is 1 trinket per treat. They are very special, each and every one.
Okay.
Just like you. And he boops your nose.
She blushes so hard.
Aww.
So I guess I try to trade in my basket, and I have 9 eggs left. So I'll go ahead and take. What will this get me?
Oh. That's not. Oh. And he waves back, and 2 more of the goblins come up. And he turns facing away from the goblins and puts his hand over his mouth and seems to whisper something.
Is it possible
This
to
is
try
the
to
highly-
overhear him?
This is highly unusual behavior for negotiation.
Go ahead.
Negotiation. You're right. Maybe we shouldn't trade them all in, but
17? And then it was 16 plus 7 for my sleight of hand, by the way.
You were able to do that successfully. He is talking in a way that doesn't quite make sense. But what you overhear is, I understand that you're hungry, but you can keep eating all you want. I am in the middle of business right now. We can continue our discussion on the moral implications of my actions at another date. And it continues to go on back and forth about, no, you're right. I mean, you have made me a better person at the end of the day. But this has been a very trying time for all of us. It's not the time to have this conversation, but I appreciate your concerns, and I will address them. I will address them.
I'm gonna eat one of the taffies while I listen to this guy talk.
Go ahead and roll a d8.
Seems like this goblin has a very open relationship. Good, they communicate a lot.
He's always spacing away from any of the other goblins to have this
He's just
conversation.
talking to nothing, right? It's like, okay.
What appears to be. Eating the candy causes you to foam at the mouth,
Oh, shit.
making it difficult, but not impossible to speak. The foam tastes like watermelon.
Oh.
You got a little.
I take out one of the keys that Jingle Jangle had given us. I couldn't. No. I couldn't. I couldn't trade away this key, and I put it back in the waistcoat.
Nice bluff.
Good call.
Well, if it means too much to you, then that's fair. I wouldn't ever try to part somebody from something that...
We already lost the pine cone.
How delicious is it, Cody?
Pretty good. Not as good as the first one.
I guess I could, and I pulled it to the 4 pieces.
I really don't think we should give the keys up. What if those are important here?
It hasn't become important yet.
Like, we still have a whole other world.
You may I?
Indie right now.
May I? Of course. Turns it over. Beautiful craftsmanship. 2 pieces.
3 1/4.
Don't do partial pieces.
Well, that was worth a shot.
We could do partial pieces. You're right. That would actually be a good idea. No, I don't think that's
Good sir,
I do think that is fair.
Who are you speaking to? Oh,
My magnet.
your what?
I have a friend.
In the apple.
Oh, he's schizophrenic.
Well, he's eating me, but he's very lovely.
Seems like you have a good working relationship. What? I don't want to buy candy for this guy.
As I'm still choking on foam. I would not suggest it. No, I do grab one of the iridescent bottles and give it to you as my third sample.
Okay, I try that, I guess.
Go ahead and roll a d8.
8.
You are targeted by a polymorph spell
Oh,
and automatically fail.
okay. Who am I turning into?
Your new form is a butterfly.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Use the bat stat block. Just omit dark vision and echolocation and bite.
Wow. Okay.
That's cool.
I am.
My love?
I'm gonna float.
My love?
I'm gonna flutter around.
This is the second episode we've gotten polymorphed.
Where's the
Can
bat?
I don't did I can speak? Probably not, right?
You-
I'm sorry, I said that in such a weird way.
no. You can't. No.
All right.
Okay,
I'm just
so
gonna flutter around.
with the goats, we figured out that if you kill them, they turn back into their people, right?
Oh my god.
With an intelligence of 6, do I think killing the butterfly will bring Solstice back?
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
While you're doing that, I'd like to use Druidcraft to.
That is a 5.
This does not look like what made them goats. That made them goats. This made her a butterfly. Him a butterfly. So
I am going to. So that Solstice doesn't fly away.
Well, no, because I was going to do a puff of wind to help, like, buoy him.
No, because I, as Rio, know that when you're a butterfly, you have the mental capacity of a
Right.
butterfly.
Right.
So I'm really worried.
well, in this case, a bat.
A mammal, at least.
But
Do
you're a
butterflies
butterfly.
even have brains? Like
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Just like, oh, puff of wind, just to, like, help you flutter along.
Does That goes away, right?
Oh, yes, everything is temporary, much like life.
Much like life.
That's
The foaming should stop in about an hour.
All right. My good sir.
And your friend can enjoy the gift of flight for about as long.
Is there any way to turn him back early?
The goblin takes your hands in his again and squishes.
Oof.
And then as it squishes, Soul just regrows out of that and like flops onto the ground.
That was quite pleasant. Okay, no more candy.
Yes.
3 1/4?
3 1/4. Jeltra, which ones did we say we would get for the younglings back home?
Well, the younglings always enjoy
Red.
red and blue, and is there yellow?
I
One of
think
the
the
goblins comes up with a
children-
handful of yellows.
I think the children at the Waterdeep orphanage would really appreciate the red ones.
I grabbed 2 reds, a blue, a for
3/4 of me.
the quarter. Which one would you recommend?
I very much like the periwinkle.
Periwinkle?
So does Robert. He points at the little hole in the side of the apple.
What other? What's periwinkle adjacent then?
Like not quite periwinkle, but
Yes.
so they're arranged kind of in a rainbow as they fade across the stems.
Okay.
So on one side of the periwinkle is more of a purple, and on the other side is more of a blue.
I will grab more of a purple one.
Okay.
Is
I was gonna
periwinkle blue purple?
Yeah, it's like a lightish blue purple.
Some of us.
I was gonna go periwinkle until he referred to the virus inside of his own head, and that just was a little bit of a turn.
It's not a virus. It's a maggot.
It's a maggot living in the apple in his head.
Many have called it a curse, but I really do think that Robert has made me a better person.
How long has Robert been with you?
Oh, about a week. I feel that, well, I feel that he has helped me to realize so much of the error of my ways. It's changed my outlook. It's made me kinder, more sympathetic to the plight of others.
How is that a curse?
Not a curse at all.
What happens when Robert is done?
I don't know.
What happens
So
to any of
this isn't a helmet?
He like goes to pull, and you see his neck is attached. It is his head.
Candy apple head.
My good sir, while we're done purchasing candy, would it be possible to meet with, I would know her name. Not
Granny Nightshade.
Granny Nightshade, while we're in town?
I think I could possibly arrange that.
Yeah, we would very appreciate it. We're here on behalf of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light to discuss business with her.
I don't know who that is, but perhaps she will.
She will.
Percy goes up to whatever the darkest purple candy is,
darkest purple?
and like looks at it, and then pulls a
I don't think Will ever took your teacup.
teacup made from a varnished mushroom cap.
The goblin behind holds up the candy. Teacup? Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
He does a real quick motion of like tossing the candy at you and grabbing the teacup. Good day. Good day. Good day.
Well,
Yes.
Okay.
It's,
Good choice. Good choice. Yes. Roll a d8.
We haven't tried the hard candy ones yet.
hard candy.
Is this hard candy?
Yeah.
It's candy now.
What?
It's Madeline's.
Oh, Candy.
Your head swells to twice its normal size.
Percy dies.
Just topples over like a
His
weeble
spine
wobble.
just crushes into itself and he dies.
It's gonna be hard to fly like that.
Yeah, I can fly.
Probably not.
It feels as if it's like a balloon inflating as it grows.
What?
Did anybody ever?
Good choice. Good choice.
Totally not on topic. Never mind.
Stop. Percy, I'm just gonna. And I like poke Percy's forehead.
Wait.
Does he pop?
No, but it does like indent and then spring back.
Like it's a balloon. Oh gosh.
What?
Should I try this quarter piece of candy or should
Maybe
I
what? It's
leave
up
it?
to you. Strange, wonderful happenings.
Would you like to try it, Jeltra?
What?
Did Percy just discover a new kink you didn't know about?
Or I'll try the
Never
quarter
eating candy.
periwinkle. The
The
little
quarter?
quarter piece.
Go ahead and roll a d8.
Quarter. You only turn into a quarter of a butterfly.
Oh, that's a 1.
The periwinkle is slightly differently shaded than the purple.
Uh-huh.
And you feel a strange, like, pulsing. Almost as if there's an expansion inside of you, and then it shifts as the magic moves downwards. Nothing appears to happen.
Do I see anything change?
Did y'all just get a badonka?
Maybe something just got a little bit bigger. Because you just ate a little bit of the candy.
I'll look
Are
at
you-
my feet.
As you step from one foot to the other, your footfalls emit musical notes that can be heard out to a range of 30 feet.
Your what?
Footfalls emit musical notes.
Bling, 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 bling.
I Jeltra, may I have this dance?
Okay.
Really the time.
And then we start dancing.
Quite romantic.
Chucklehead claps you on.
Bling, bling, bling.
Yes, Robert, it is lovely.
Oh God, Robert. I kind of, as I dance with you, I'm like, I kind of feel like we should put the candy apple goblin out of his misery.
He seems so happy.
Oh, that's true. He does.
I'll be honest. He is the first goblin I've ever met with food for a head, and also the first goblin I've met who seems to have genuine life satisfaction.
You guys had your ticket, Master Goblin. That was.
He did not seem like he had life satisfaction.
He did not seem fulfilled.
He has life satisfaction and you want to end that life?
No, Solstice, I'm arguing to not.
Well,
How
perhaps.
about that meeting?
Bling, 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 bling. I
Oh,
Turn into a centipede. More legs. We need more legs.
Does Percy's voice change now that it's
that his head is twice its
It's
size.
helium.
I think we're done. This is vanished. Where are you? Just so that you all know what this looks like.
Oh gosh.
Just so you know.
Oh,
okay.
he's kind of cute.
That is kind of scary, actually.
Chucklehead.
That's his name, huh?
Almost terrifying.
Robert Head.
Almost? I would hate to break it to you, but if you saw that in front of your house,
Chucklehead.
you
I feel like if you stop half of the stuff in D&D in front of your house, that you shoot yourself. Like, in the spectrum of D&D things, this is not that bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
It just makes me wonder if the caramel sticks, and every time he opens up his mouth, it does that stringy thing.
I'm just wondering if things stick to him.
Well, and he was smiling too, so
I don't
imagine
think
that
so.
maw. Like, ugh.
Does he just smell pumpkin 100% of the
It's not
time?
a
Well, he's an
pumpkin,
apple.
it's
It's an apple. That's right.
He's
And
a
it's a
candied
candy apple,
apple.
so it's a little sticky.
He must have diabetes.
He is diabetes. Diabetes.
Funny, everybody, because I have diabetes.
That's why we're allowed to laugh.
Don't report it.
I will be happy to take you to see the Lady of the Log. But I would ask
Title your sex tape.
perhaps a favor.
You've done right by us so far.
Meanwhile, Percy has like found like a pole or something. You're just kind of like bouncing his head against it.
Boom, boom, boom. There is a girl who works here for Granny Nightshade. She is very good. She is very kind to the goblins. And not that I would ever ask you to go against the lady's wishes, mind you.
We would never.
Never, absolutely.
But if you happen to get a chance to go into the kitchen, perhaps you could help Mishka.
Mishka?
I know she very much doesn't want to be here, but I am... Yes, Robert, I'm getting it. I am too much of a coward to rescue her myself.
Well, you would be hard-pressed to keep this one out of a kitchen.
I do love food.
And I'll tap his belly.
That's where the food goes.
Isn't he like ripped?
I don't think Solstice is ripped.
Oh.
I don't think I'm out of shape.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like abs at rest look like a belly.
Okay.
Truly strong men do not look like how we think they look.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, well, follow me.
Bling, 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 bling.
I
bling,
kneel down
bling.
and give you a piggyback ride because I'm.
Because it was only a quarter of one, it actually fades away.
Okay.
That was enjoyable.
You're Chucklehead leads you up the roots and back down to what appears to be a route that leads up into the tree itself.
And I'm sad to miss more of the market.
You can always return.
That's true.
Do you only sell candy?
It is a candy market.
Oh, everyone else just referred to it as the Goblin Market. So,
We are goblins.
yeah, no, yes, but I mean, you'd think Candy Market would be, you know, less racist.
Oh. We make it ourselves. It's goblin candy at Goblin Candy Market, Goblin Candy Market, Goblin Candy Market.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Why not call it Chuckleheads?
I don't make all of the candy myself.
Who does?
The goblins.
Oh,
All of us.
It's the
Together.
Goblin Market.
you should call it the Goblin Candy Supremacy.
I feel that would be
I'm on a
problematic.
streak of really naming things quite well. I agree. You can thank me later for it.
As the conversation continues, you reach the parlor. And also, I think you're too big.
Oh no.
Let's make everybody littler.
Is the map small?
The map is very big.
So each square maybe should be 10 feet?
Yes, each square is 10 feet.
Ah, that's why.
Yes. I was wondering why you were so much bigger than him, and I was like, well, I guess he's a goblin, maybe he's small, but goblins are not that small. So, yes, that is more appropriate. And then the chairs were very small here as well. So Chucklehead leads you into the parlor. This chamber is nestled between walls of twisted roots. Through gaps in which you can see the eerily beautiful woodland surroundings. A closed wooden door stands opposite the root bridge that leads into this room, in the center of which are 4 armchairs encircling a small table laid out for tea service. A painted wooden box, 3 feet on a side, rests in a corner. A crank protrudes from one side of it, causing it to resemble an oversized jack-in-the-box.
What does that do?
Nothing good.
I don't think I've ever touched it before, to be perfectly honest.
I'll go sit on it.
Ah,
There's not enough.
I was going to go
no-
examine it.
Oh, There's
Me
not
and
enough-
Solstice can share. It's
there's
fine.
not enough chairs for everyone.
Me and Solstice will share.
Okay.
Please don't sit on that.
Is it like the hat?
After you sit, I'll just kind of like perch on your lap.
Try to investigate it.
Go ahead.
I'm not used to things not being what they're supposed to be.
6.
The crank seems like perhaps it could use some oil, as it seems like it sticks as you try to go to turn it.
Won't whale it.
Did you
Where'd that go?
bring?
I was in myself oil left.
Oh, okay.
So I had like 2 flasks.
Gotcha.
You go to turn it.
He oils it first, he said.
Yeah. I'm gonna oil it and then I'm gonna look at him and be like, can I? Is it okay? Like, as I'm like slowly moving it.
It's not mine.
Whose is it?
I'm gonna do it.
I assume it's the lady's.
Oh,
The lady of the log.
Yes. Granny.
I'm gonna do it.
I believe she is still arising at this hour, but let me see if I can find her. And he goes,
Hey, Chucklehead, if we wanted to help ourselves to a snack, where would the kitchens be?
they are in the back of the log on the ground floor.
Well, maybe I should see if they're awake and there's any breakfast available.
Perhaps you should follow me.
Lead the way, Chucklehead.
Opening the door between this room and the next, as Coulter accidentally reloads the Roll20 page.
never hurts to refresh.
It never does, but it never helps either.
Although it does, yeah, I guess it could.
All of you, as the door opens, as he steps inside to see if he can find Granny Nightshade, you all witness, and Cody enters into, flickering lanterns illuminate a cluttered workshop filled with soft ambient music produced by bells and chimes. Parts of toys are heaped on the tables, leering dolls' heads, half-built rocking horses, unpainted wooden balls, and the stuffed limbs of soft toys. A stove at the back of the room holds a saucepan of smelting metal. 3 doors exit the workshop, and 2 storefront windows overlook the market outside. 3 young children are gathered around a wooden work table. The eldest, a drow boy, prances on the tabletop with a bar of soap in one hand, while a halfling girl and a human girl giggle at his audacity.
Chucklehead, a moment. I'm going to run back to the goblin market, pick up one of the butterfly bottles, and then run back and be like, I'm going to use this to get you something precious. I'm going to use it to save you.
Oh, Robert explained it. I'm so sorry.
I'll put it in my jacket pocket.
As you stand in the workshop talking, there is a slam as the door at the opposite end flings open and a little old lady enters through it. She claps her hands, and all of the children jump to attention, the jar boy hopping off the table and standing to face her.
Do I have time to duck behind something?
You are all standing out in the open here as you're kind of at the other doorway.
Ah, Chucklehead, I heard you brought me guests. It is time for tea.
Yes, I was on my way to see what the kitchen had going on.
Oh, nonsense. Guests of mine going into the kitchen. Who would ever have such a thing?
I mean, no offense, miss?
Granny, you can call me Granny,
mean
son.
no-
Everyone else does.
I mean, no offense, Granny, but I have this weird tick where I have to see where my food is prepared before I can consume it. I mean no offense, but if I don't, I will get viciously nauseous.
Well, lucky you. We're not having food.
I attack her.
You're going to attack her?
Oh man.
So they're still in the workshop, and you guys are still in the parlor. Are you going to run into the workshop and attack her?
Yes.
That is where we'll end tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us as we enter into our next murder episode the following week on Wild Beyond the Witchlight. With that,
I think that's a great attack roll.
I know. It's a good thing. It is not.
oh dear me.
I thought
dear
that
me.
was the plan.
No, the plan was for Will to distract her, and then we would free the children.
They're gonna distract and get all of the scarecrows, howling scarecrow. Yeah,
Okay, but
that's all right.
I mean,
We're on a
she's in
path.
front of us.
We're on a path.
I mean,
We're
It's
doing
what
it.
Solstice would have done, and I respect
We're
it.
doing it.
We are so appreciative of our patrons Sparky, Darcy, Daniel, Rio's mom, Alistair, Sean, Rockelman, Death's Grasp, Eric Fox, and Meepo. And with that, where we stand today, our newest patron not yet picked a tagline. We will come up with the tagline. But beforehand, I'm going to let you know that we're working on a new video series. Some short videos just going through the actual process of stream setup. We are a small stream at this point, but we have learned, I think, a lot over the last 2 years of how to put things together. So we're doing a series of short videos just on how to set up OBS, how to set up cameras and lights and things like that, especially when you're starting working on a budget like we are. And with that,
don't forget Blood Sands coming up if you're interested.
yes.
Well, if you want to watch Blood Sands and maybe beg us to let you go in, even if it's closed, I don't know, depending.
Whoa,
Maybe.
whoa.
Saying maybe. Check out Mighty
If you
MMCast.
see this Twitch before the 9th, you still have time to sign up.
Go to MightyMMCast.com and check it out there.
Yes. And we will come up with the tagline of that show.
Eventually.
Night, everybody.